Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is wherever you are. Welcome to Car Park Walk Blog. I haven't had time to get to the beach this week, so I'm doing this from the car park again, or a different car park. And today I wanted to talk about the role of your upper body in the running motion. So a couple of days ago, or yesterday maybe, I posted on the Fix Your Injuries, the Sling Method page, about the role of your upper body. And if you're not training your upper body to lift your lower body, that's probably, you've just found a reason or another reason why you keep getting injured, because you're not training your upper body to lift your lower body, because that really is one of its major roles in the gait cycle, in the running movement. So you know that there's these fascial lines. The fascia connects the upper body to the lower body, it connects the right to the left to the right, it connects the back to the front, and it has all these different fascial lines in the body, and they're all kind of transferring force, they're connecting one part to another. So the idea of muscles just moving one limb or one joint is kind of I'm not going to say it's not true, because it is. It's a part of the equation, but muscles are really tensors of the fascial lines, and the fascial lines really kind of connect one body part to another, one area of the body to another, and they transfer force, and they also create movement. Now, if I'm walking right now, as you know, if my right foot is on the ground and my left foot is off the ground, my upper body is lifting my lower body. My upper body muscles and the upper body muscles connect to the fascia. I must create a muscle contraction in my upper body onto that fascial line that goes to my lower body somehow, and it crosses over my pelvis and goes to my legs. So for example, my right side shoulder moves in a forwards direction when my left side leg and pelvis move in a forwards direction. And that is a horizontal rotation like this along the horizon. We call that a transverse plane motion. Now those parts of your body are all connected to one another, and the muscles are tensing to create a pull on that fascial line. And when they create a pull on that fascial line, it creates a tension force that's equated to the weight of the limb that it's lifting, that it's moving, or the weight of the body part that it's moving, or it must be close to that weight in force, right? So if let's say the left side of my body weighs 60 pounds, I must create a overall force that equates to the weight of that side of my body, or that part of my body, in order to keep it from falling to the ground, right? So it's like a suspension system. It's like a parachute kind of suspension system. Now when we tense those muscles and we hold those body parts up, that creates a force that lifts to stop those body parts from falling to the ground. And I must do that every time I walk, every time I run, at all times. So if that's a major part of the running motion, is to not let the parts that are off the ground collapse and fall to the ground when they're off the ground, then I must get good at doing that, right? I must get good at actually doing that movement, or that action, that skill. Let's call it a skill, because it is a skill, and it's also something that can be trained, right? Now if this can be trained, and this is going to help you improve the coordination of all of these movements together, that's going to help you become a better runner, because coordination of movement is the foundation and the fundamental part of strengthening a movement. I can't strengthen a movement unless I'm coordinating that movement. That's kind of obvious, isn't it, really? When you think about it and you think about the logic of it, it's kind of obvious. So if I don't coordinate the movement, then I can't strengthen that movement. So work on coordinating that movement, and that movement involves, like I've just said, lifting your upper body, lifting your lower body by using the upper body musculature. Now you don't have to get too deep and too in depth with what muscles do what fascial lines do what. What you have to do is do the movement, which is why I always say that we're not training muscles. We're not selecting, oh, I'm training this muscle. No, what we're doing is we're just training the movement, because if I train the movement, I get all the muscles that are involved in that movement in their entirety. So it's kind of like, well, I don't need to know all of these muscles. I don't need to know this muscle connects to this and does this. What I need to know is movement. So if I know the movements, I can train all the muscles, right? So now I'm not saying that knowing the muscles and knowing the attachment points and everything isn't great. It's not, it's completely pointless. It's not worth it. Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, it's helpful. It's giving you an extra bit of knowledge, but you don't need it. You don't need it at all. You don't need to know that in order to train movements, because I know that if I want this movement to occur and it isn't, i.e. landing on a backward travelling leg, all I've got to do is jump in the air, pull my leg back, and I'm training that movement. Or lift my leg up, pull my leg back against the resistance while it's in the air, then I'm training that movement. And all I've got to do is hold my body in a certain way, standing upright, and then do the action, and then I'm training that movement. Then I'm training all the muscles that are involved in that movement. That's pretty cool, right? In fact, that's super cool, because now I don't need to know, oh, the hamstrings have 3 muscles and 4 heads and they attach here, here and here. No, what I need to do is I need to look at the body and say, what action should be occurring? What action is occurring? Are they the same? If the answer is great, if the answer is yes, then great. If the answer is no, then start training the movement that you want to occur, and that's it. Job done. Right? That's what gait analysis is. It's looking at the movement that's occurring and then saying, is that the movement that we want? Is that the movement that we should see at this particular time during the gait cycle? And if the answer is yes, then we don't need to worry about it. If the answer is no, then we do need to think about it and we need to retrain it. So changing your running form is not about saying stand tall, hold your posture in this way, shoulders back, blah blah blah. No, it's about training movement. We're not trying to change how you run by giving you running cues. We're trying to change how you run by changing the movement. That's how we change running form. That's how we improve running form, by identifying which bits are missing and then training them. And it really is that simple. It's so simple that it almost seems complicated. It's really funny when I say to people, just train this movement, and they go, well, what muscle? I go, it doesn't matter. You're training the movement. It doesn't matter which muscle. You don't need to identify which muscle. You just need to do the movement. Problem solved. Now just keep training the movement and add in this movement. Well, which muscle? Doesn't matter. You're doing it already. Right? So we don't need to worry about muscles. We need to worry about movement. So if you train your upper body to lift your lower body and move in a certain way, you're going to be making that movement occur. You're going to be retraining your gait. And that's what it's all about. So that's why we train the upper body to lift the lower body, because if I'm not, what am I doing? I'm training my upper body doing a bench press or a shoulder press? No, I don't want to train my upper body to do a shoulder press or a bench press or a lat pull, a pull up. That's not training my upper body to lift my lower body. That's just training my upper body to lift weights. It's not going to help me run better. And there is your car park walk blog for the day. Done in 10 minutes. Talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye.